this is Sarah with the Painted Farmer, and for those of you who ordered the at-home paint party package, right now we're going to be painting the unicorn. First we're going to get our workspace ready. So for you kids at home, make sure that if you're painting at a table, that you have it covered with a tablecloth, and go ahead and grab a plate for your paint. Have your paintbrushes ready, and go ahead and get a glass of water so that you can rinse your paintbrushes. For the unicorn, we're going to start with the middle section, which is the head, and it's going to be all white. So you're going to take your small brush and just get a little bit of paint. So you're going to paint against the hairline right on top of it, basically. And you can go slow. It's okay if you cross over and get some into the hair, that's fine. And if you put your hand down, that kind of helps guide you, because after we paint the face of the unicorn, we're gonna blow dry it, and that helps us not run our colors together when we move on to the hair colors. And you're gonna wanna paint really thin so that you don't have to blow dry it for forever. And it's okay if you can see the wood through your paint, that's fine. If you don't like it with just one coat of paint, after you blow dry it, you can paint it again. But never put wet paint on top of wet paint, because that will just make a mess. So now you're gonna get your bigger brush, which is probably about this size, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna use a bigger one. And make sure that you're painting all in one direction. Don't put it on too thick. Really spread it out. Go all the way from one side to the other. See how I keep brushing this until it's really nice and thin? And you're not gonna wanna go this way and then this way. You're gonna really wanna stay in one direction, because sometimes the brush strokes do show, and it looks much better if they're all in one direction. Now if you're painting with your smaller paintbrush that's going to be in your packet, this one, it's going to be the same kind of thing. And make sure you keep reaching back to this line over here and going all the way over. And don't be afraid to go over your paint a couple times just to make it nice and smooth. So we're gonna finish up painting the head, and then we're gonna get started on the hair. So if the face of your unicorn is completely dry, move on with the hair. And I think that I'm going to do pink, purple, and aqua. But you can do whatever color you want. You could do pink and purple, or aqua and pink. It doesn't matter. And again, I'm gonna go right against the hairline. And remember to keep your hand down, this part of your hand down, and it really helps anchor you and guide you. And remember to paint thin, because we don't want to spend a really long time having to blow dry our project. And for those of you who may not have blow dryers at home, you're gonna have to let yours air dry. The reason that we want one section to be completely dry before we start the next section, if this pink paint were to mix with the white paint and it was still wet, it would just create a mess. Go ahead and rinse this brush, and then so we don't have to blow dry 10 times, you are going to let this section air dry if you've painted thin enough, and move on to the top piece of hair. So again, we're going to paint right up against the line, and you don't have to do it quickly. You could take your time. And if your hand isn't as steady as mine, and it goes over the line, that's okay. Once it's dry, it's easy to cover up mistakes. And as Bob Ross says, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. Now that we have both of our colors, I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry mine since I haven't done that yet, and then we're gonna start on the middle. Now that we're done with the purple, I'm going to take a little pink and just go over very lightly where I messed up. Now we're going to move on to the horn and the ear, which are both going to be white. So I did start going side to side with my paint, but it's very easy to accidentally spray onto your other colors. So how about we just go this way? And see how even though there's sections I've already painted, I keep kind of like going back over them? It's just to make everything look very blended. After you do your horn, if you like, just make sure all of this is dry and you can go back over it with a second coat of paint. Once your horn is all white, you're gonna blow dry it. So for those of you at home, you actually already have lines drawn out for where your gray should go for the stripes on your horn. So you should be able to see those lines through your white paint. I don't have any lines on mine. And if you can't see your lines anymore, that's okay. You're gonna take your small brush with a little bit of gray, and you're gonna place your hand on the dry hair and just make one paint stroke like that. Take it nice and slow. Make sure you place your hand down on something because it helps keep you steady. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do stripes. If you want to do polka dots, you can, or stars, or zigzags. Now that we're done with the horn, we're gonna paint the ear white. You're gonna blow dry your ear and your horn. Make sure that you don't drag your cord across your wet paint. Now if you want to, you can leave your ear white, or you can take a little bit of your light pink and place it on the inside of the ear, kind of in a teardrop shape or a raindrop shape. Before I move on to the other half, I'm gonna go ahead and teach you guys how to paint on the eye and the mouth. So now we're gonna take our small paintbrush with a little bit of black paint and go ahead and kind of find the center of the face. And you can do the eye this way, or I think I'm gonna do mine more long ways, like this. Go ahead and do the eyelashes. It's better if you kind of just flick your wrist out and don't worry about them being perfect. Now I'm gonna do the mouth. It's just one little line. So I think you guys are set to go ahead and paint the other half of your unicorn just like you painted the top half. So whatever colors you want, just make sure you blow dry between your colors because you don't want your wet paint touching wet paint. And after that, we'll put on the finishing touches. So now that you've finished your other side and it's completely dry, you are going to work on your accents to kind of finish it off. And you're kind of just gonna do some white wispies throughout the hair. You can do them as thin or as thick as you want. And it doesn't have to be really anything planned or perfect. Just kind of let your wrist go with the way the hair is flowing. We're going to do the same to the bangs. So now that we've done that, you're going to rinse your brush. And you're going to take your gray paint. And you're just going to kind of outline the nose a little. And the neck. Just a little bit. You can write your name right here if you'd like. So I'm gonna use a piece of paper. And you should use a piece of paper too to practice first. So you're gonna take your small brush and you're really just gonna hold it however's comfortable and pretend like you're writing your name like you would in school. You can add some extra swirls and make it cute if you want. That's one example. Another example is you could just do it really swirly if you'd like. And even if it looks a little messy at first, you can always go back over it. And sometimes it looks cute to be not perfect. So now that we've added the finishing touches and details, and your name should be on it if you want, you are done with your unicorn. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you had fun painting with me.